What is going on, guys? Nexon here. Welcome to yet another Call of Duty commentary, this time with Call of Duty Ghost gameplay. And just as I stated in the previous video, I do have trouble getting decent gameplay. This isn't what I'd call decent, but I went positive, and that's all that matters. So you'll have to deal with my crappy gameplay with lots of frame drop and yeah, just deal with it. Anyway, today's video is about COD Champs and my predictions. And assuming this goes up today, Thursday, then tomorrow is the first day of actual pool play. And so I'm going to list off what teams I think are going to win their group, because two teams from each group face off and advance to the next round. And I think that would be, I'm not sure if that's group play or pool play. I think I have them mixed up. But anyway, the 32 teams are from, obviously they're all from different countries. Most of them are from North America, but there are international teams as well. And I'll list them off in just whatever order. Strictly Business was the champs of U.S. regionals, so they are technically the U.S. champs. They are the #1 ranked seed. Complexity, obviously, they're quite either famous or infamous, whatever you want to label them as, but they're obviously one of the more liked and disliked teams. Team Kaliber, a very well liked team. They play hard. There's just a really popular feel-good team, and I really think they have a decent shot. FaZe, another one of those really big teams. Always in there, but they've never really done much. Let's see if they can put something on the board this year. Envyus, one of those huge teams, probably top 2 or 3 most well-known teams, and that's because they've always done very well. Team Rise, I believe Rise is, I was going to say they were Canadian, but I'm not. No, they're not. No, never mind. They're not Canadian. They are American, and they are. To me, I don't know a lot about other teams other than the really mainstream teams, but they seem like a talented squad. And then, of course, is OpTic Gaming, what I consider to be the most popular team, and also the team that I root for. And I have been called an OpTic fanboy, and I'm going to go ahead and say that that's true. So let's just get that out of the way. I do believe that OpTic is going to take their group. I believe they're going to finish first in their group, and they're going to go ahead to the next round. After them is Xfinity. That's another team that I'm not all that familiar with, but they do have some players that I've heard of. I know who Mud Dog is, and I know who Croaster is. The Brazil. This is the Brazil. The two teams that are representing Brazil. One of them was disqualified. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think they disclosed that. I'm not sure. But one of them is called the Brazil 5 Stars. And if you are on Twitter a lot, and you're into the COD competitive scene, you may have seen these guys are quite popular on Twitter. I don't know any of their players, but the next team, this is the team that I believe was disqualified, SSOF Gaming. I really don't know anything about them. On to the Canadian teams, you have Vex Revenge, who I believe are pretty damn good, according to what I've seen from esports reports and stuff like that. Then you have Wild Gaming, who I have no idea who they are, but if they're in COD Champs, they gotta be pretty damn good. And so on to the rest of North America, there is one other team, and that is from Mexico, and they are called OpTic Gaming. I remember last year at COD Champs, there was also a Mexican team. They were definitely not named OpTic Gaming, but I do recognize one of the players, Clumsy. I believe he was also the captain for last year's team from Mexico. So he's probably a veteran, and he's probably the one making the calls for OpTic Gaming. Other than that, I'm not sure about any other players. Now we move on to the European teams, and we'll start with the UK's representatives, starting with Epsilon, who are incredibly well known and have a really, really strong squad. Yes, they're in OpTic's group, so that's gonna be really good, really, really awesome. Next is TCM, another one of those big, huge teams from the UK. They have very well-known players like Marky B, another strong competitor. And next we have TEC Intensity. I'm honestly not sure who they are, but they definitely look like they're going to be a really good team. And next we have Team Orbit. This team, to me, they're a new team to me. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but they have a really cool logo. I'll give them that. And now we move on to France's two representatives, and they are Vitality Rises and Vitality Returns. I believe Vitality Rises won a UMG event, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I saw that. Anyway, they're probably two very strong teams. Next we have the German representatives, and they are SK Gaming and Killerfish. And I believe Killerfish was also in last year's COD Champs, and I know they made a really strong showing. I just don't know. I don't think they are the same squad, though. So hopefully they can do well and represent that Killerfish organization, as well as last year's Killerfish team did. And next we move on to the Real All-Stars. They are made up of players who are from different European countries. And I believe their players are from, they have maybe one or two from each of the following: Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Anytime you have All-Stars at the end of your name, you gotta have some really good players. And on to another team that has, looks like all players are from different countries here. They are from they're called Rain Mix, and they have a player from Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. So that's a very diverse team. We'll see how they're able to compete this year. And next we have a team from Italy, another team that's very new to me. They are Sublime Gaming. They have a very cool logo. I'll give them that. It's got like a griffin on it. And we have one team from Spain. I know we had a team from Spain last year. I don't think this is the same team, but I do remember they played very, very well. I do believe they made it to, I don't know if it was top 8 or definitely top 16. And looks like it is not the same squad, but I'm not sure. Definitely they might have another nice showing from the Spanish representatives this year. And now we have 4 teams from Asia Pacific and Oceania, I guess the region is called. And we have a team from Australia, and they are called Trident T1 Daughters. They may have a player from New Zealand there. I'm not sure, because it does list Australia/New Zealand. And next is Immunity, and again, they may also have a player from New Zealand. Now we move on to the team from Singapore, and it looks like they may have players from Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan, and they are called Echelon, which is a really, really cool name for an esports team. They look like really strong competitors. And we have one team from South Korea, who the bracket that I'm looking at decided to not give out any of the player info. I'm not sure if that's because they're just a very new team, or I don't know, they don't have much info on them. But they are called NSP, and that's about as much information as I can give you, other than the fact that South Korea is really huge on esports. So look for the South Korean team to maybe make a big splash this year. And we have 2 teams from Africa and the Middle East. We have one team from South Africa. They are called Team Rise ZA. That's another really cool name for an esports team. And then we have one team from the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and they are Clarity Gaming. And not much information on them either, but they have what looks to be a pretty decent squad. Not much information on their players. I can't even really see their logo. I guess they don't have much info on these guys. But we'll see if they have some interesting. If they show us what they're made of this year. And now we'll go on the groups. Strictly Business, as the number 1 seed, to me has the easiest group. They are in a group with Sublime, the Italian team, Vitality Returns, a French team, and Team Rise ZA, a South African team. I'm going to assume that Strictly Business will take the group in first, and I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to say Vitality Returns, the French team, takes the second spot. So Strictly Business and Vitality Returns, and go ahead and move on from Group A. From Group B, we have Complexity. We have All-Stars from the Netherlands, we have Vex Revenge from Canada, and Team Orbit from the UK. I'm going to go ahead and say that Complexity takes the top spot, and Vex Revenge from Canada goes on as the number 2 seed from that group. From Group C, we have Team Kaliber, Lightning Pandas, who are an all-EU team from different countries, I believe. Then we have Wild Gaming and Rain Mix. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Team Kaliber and Lightning Pandas, I just like the name, move on from Group C. In Group D, we have FaZe. We have SK from Germany, we have Trident T1 Daughters from Australia, and we have Aztec Gaming from Mexico. To me, FaZe will probably easily take this group, but I'm going to go ahead that Aztec Gaming, the team from Mexico, takes out SK and Trident T1 Daughters and moves on as the second team in Group D. In Group E, we have one of the heavy favorites, Envyus. We have TEC Intensity from the United Kingdom. We have Immunity from Australia, and we have Clarity Gaming from United Arab Emirates. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Envyus takes the top spot, and TEC Intensity, the UK team, will take the second spot. From Group F, we have Team Rise from the US, and we have Vitality Rises from France, we have Wizards from Spain, and we have the Brazil 5 Stars. And I'm going to assume that Rise will take the top spot, and Vitality Rises from France will go on as the number 2 team. From Group G, we have probably the most popular team in all of COD esports, OpTic Gaming. We have Epsilon from the UK, and we have NSP from South Korea, and the disqualified team, SSOF Gaming from Brazil. So I'm going to assume that OpTic and Epsilon duke it out for the top spot, but I'm going to go ahead and say OpTic takes the number 1 spot, and Epsilon moves on as the number 2. In Group H, we have Xfinity, we have TCM from the UK, we have Killerfish from Germany, and we have Echelon from Singapore. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Xfinity takes the top spot, with Killerfish a close number, or not Killerfish, I'm sorry. I really do want Killerfish to make a good show this year at COD Champs, but I don't think they will. It's a totally different squad from last year, and I'm just not sure they can pull it off. But this year, I'm going to go ahead and say TCM from the UK takes the number 2 spot. So those are my predictions. If you guys have your own predictions, go ahead and list them in the comments. I will definitely respond to your comments and be reading them. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you stay tuned to MLG.TV this weekend to see COD Champs. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am out. Peace.